Hi guys, and welcome to this, our lesson for Year 9 on inequalities, and these are awesome. Now, if you've been doing algebra, you've got this sorted. There's only one rule you have to remember for inequalities, but otherwise they are exactly the same as when you solve equations. But an inequality allows you to have more than one answer. Someone's a bit weird. Well, actually, later on when you get to things like methods over here in Australia, or pure, or any aspect of mathematics, you tend to find out that sometimes we want more than one answer. We don't just want x equals 3, we want other stuff as well. But look, I don't want to rush ahead of myself. Let's not get too fast. My name's Darren, Maths Guru, and you're welcome to my channel. If you haven't already done so, can you subscribe? There are very, very few people subscribing, and it actually just shows me that you're watching. Doesn't mean anything else. I'm never going to be rich, and I'm never going to be famous. Also, as you can see, mathsguru.com is where all these videos are, believe it or not, and they are put in textbook order. So if you log on and click on Year 9, all of the Year 9 textbook will be loaded, or at least that's what I'm working on at this moment in time. So thank you very much. All right, what are we going to do? Well, we need to realize that inequalities have a real meaning in maths. Yes, and you've already met these things before. I think of them as crocodiles, but that's a whole new idea. Understand that an inequality represents a set of values. We can use a number line. Number lines is very primary school of us. Well, yes and no. Understand when an inequality sign needs to be reversed, and that's the one rule, and understand how to solve a linear inequality. Now, as I said, generally speaking, when we've had algebra 4, things like 3x plus 4 is equal to 13, that equal sign there tells us there is one answer and one answer only. Thank you very much, end of, job done. I just want one value of x. And hopefully you would realize or remember, we subtract 4 from both sides, which gives me 3x is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 3 to get rid of that 3 and that times, and that gives me x is equal to 3. There we go, just one answer. No more, no less. But again, that's not all there is to mathematics. We need other ways of being able to do it, and I'm going to demonstrate this now by using something called a number line and a range of values. Now, what do we see here? So we've got my number line, and I've just ripped this off the internet. It goes between -10 and 10, but these arrows here say that, to quote Buzz Lightyear, it goes to infinity and beyond. All right, so if I'm going to use my number line here, it says use a number line to show all values greater than 3. Okay, so we know that 3 is here, and I want all the values that are greater than 3. That includes 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and I could go on. But actually includes all the decimal numbers as well. In fact, it means all of the numbers greater than 3. Now, how do we express that? Well, funny enough, the first thing I'm going to do is going to draw a circle at 3. Now, it's an open circle, and we'll come back to why it's open or not coloured in a moment. And I'm going to draw an arrow that goes that way to the 10 and beyond. Now, that arrow is pointing that way because it basically says, hello, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. I've got 3, 4, 5. Hold on a moment. I just said 3. But 3 isn't included because the question said it had to be greater than 3. Oosh, have to be careful not to include it. So 3.1, yes. 3.01, yes. 3.001, yes. All of these are greater than 3, all the way up to, well, this funky symbol here, infinity. And obviously we don't have a number line long enough to go to infinity, and that would take a very long time to draw. And so what am I going to do? I just draw my arrow. All right. What about less than -1? Okay, less than -1 means -2, -3, I want all of those, and this is what I do again. So less than, I'm going to draw a circle, and it's an open circle at -1, and this time I'm going to point an arrow and a line all the way towards my negative numbers, where they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What if there's a little symbol we can use out there to try and help us? Yes, we can. Now, you know this already, but we can actually express that as x is less than -1. Hold on a moment, look at that thing there. It's like an arrowhead pointing in the direction I want to go. Oh my goodness. So that arrowhead actually connects to that line, and that's one of the things I use to try and help me remember. What about this one then? Now, I want all the values between -2 and 6. All right, -2 and 6. Now again, because it's between them, it doesn't include them. So again, I'm going to go from -2, do an open circle, all the way to 6, do an open circle, and guess what we do then? We actually join them together with a line, because that line says all of the values in between. Now, you keep saying these open circle things. Yes, I know, I'm coming to it, because I've got another couple of examples again. So now, show on the number line x 5. Well, actually, in that situation, it's greater than. So x is greater than 5. Hold on a minute, Chuckles. There's an arrowhead pointing in exactly the direction I want to go. So I'm going to do an open circle at 5 and a line and an arrow, and ka-ching, that stands for all the values that x is greater than 5. What about x is less than 3? We can do this, do a circle, do an arrow and a line, because what do we notice? Yes, x is less than 3. My arrowhead is pointing to the left, ka-ching. And what about -1 to 5? So again, because we can see that the x is in between -1 and a 5, that's what we want. We want all those values between -1 and 5. So I'm going to do it below. There's -1, there's 5, draw a line, and ka-ching. This couldn't be any easier, could it? Well, what's the difference between an open and a closed circle? Now, what we mean there is coloured in and not coloured in. Now, when we have an open circle, it means it's not going to include the number. So for example, when we see here, that open circle there for the 3 means it can't include the 3. It's all values that are less than, but not including 3. So can you see what I'm going to do with the coloured in circle? Ka-ching. If I have a coloured in circle, it means it's now going to include the number. Now, how do we show that with these mathematical symbols? Well, we have this one here, which is basically greater than or equal to, and then we have less than or equal to. So those little lines put underneath are basically equal to, and they tell you colour in the dot. Believe it or not, it works in exactly the same way as we did before. We're now just doing colouring in. We're doing art. Oh, how exciting. Art and maths finally mix. So if we have it here that x is greater than or equal to 3, well, I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to say, is it got that little line underneath it, that equal sign? It is, so I'm going to colour it in. Which way is my inequality pointing? It's pointing to the right. And there we go. Ka-ching. I have now got all of my solutions that include 3. And obviously when I've coloured that in, that looks a bit ropey, really. It looks like it's 2.5. Just excuse me while I have a breakdown. No, sorry. What about x is less than or equal to 0? Well, again, here we go. Circle at 0. Colour it in. Which way is my arrow pointing? It's pointing that way. So ka-ching, there is my arrow. If you haven't already done so, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Again, I'm never going to be rich, and I'm certainly never going to be famous. No one ever watched my channel. But if you subscribe, it actually just tells me someone out there is watching other than my mother. Do you know how embarrassing it is that my mum is watching this, all of the videos, repeatedly? Anyway, okay, so what about the next one? -3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 6. Now, do you notice the trick there? -3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 6. Here, we have the equal sign. So there, we're going to have a coloured in dot, but not here. So -3, I'm going to do my coloured in dot. At 6, I'm going to do an open circle, and then I'm just going to connect them together with that line to show all of the values in between. We are freaking awesome at this. Now again, what if they don't give you a number line? How are you going to show this stuff if they don't give you a number line? Well, don't worry about it. It's fine. You can do this. It's easy. I just tend to do this. So when x is less than 6, I tend to draw a very quick number line, and I'll do 6 and 7. I'll put 6 on there and 7, 5, 4. Generally speaking, that's it. I'm going to do less than 6. So there we go. And a line. Ka-ching. I don't need to do any more than that. Obviously that line's a little long, so to make it look nice, I could put the 2, the 1 and the 0 just to make it look awesome, but I really didn't need to. X is greater than or equal to 2. Again, do a number line. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Greater than or equal to is a coloured in circle at 2, and then just do an arrow with a line to the right. X is greater than 2, but less than or equal to. Again, notice we're now using the words. Greater than doesn't include. So again, if I do a number line here, I've got -2, and I've got to go all the way up to 3. There we go, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So what is it? Greater than -2. So that's an open circle. Less than or equal to 3. Closed circle, and again, draw the line between, and you have got inequalities. Now, if you haven't done this before, why not? It's awesome, it's colouring in, it's art, it's fabulous, it's maths, great tick. But obviously, we now get to the algebra side of this. Why is it so important to have inequalities? Well, I don't know the answer to that one, but I'm going to tell you the rule now that you need to know. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the inequality. Ooh, now I don't mean be rude to it. I don't mean, you know, middle fingers and all that type of stuff, because that would be slightly awkward and get me thrown off YouTube. But what I do mean is that when you have a greater than sign, it flips to a less than sign. If I have a greater than or equal to sign, it flips to a less than or equal to sign, and vice versa. Why? Well, it's a very good question, and one I'm probably not going to answer in this video because it's a little bit beyond year 9 maths. Please just accept it for the time being. So how do we use this now? Now again, it is only when you multiply or divide by a negative number do you flip the inequality. Now in this situation, what am I going to do here? Well, I need to leave the x on its own. I need to move the -3. What am I going to do? I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Now that's not multiplying by a negative number, that's not dividing by a negative number. So in that situation, the x is on its own, the less than sign stays there, 7 plus 3, so x is less than 10, which tells me that so long as I put any number less than 10 into that equation, it's going to work. So let's try, let's have a go, let's choose x is equal to 6. It's definitely less than 10. So if we've got 6 minus 3, is that less than 7? 3 is less than 7. It is. Ka-ching. Thank you very much. And sometimes it's always a good idea to test, just to make sure you've got the inequality the right way around. Now, here we go. Slightly more example, or interesting example. 5 minus 2x. Now, do you notice the minus 2 times the x? Yep, it's telling me that I'm probably going to have to do something about it. But obviously the first thing I need to do is when the stuff is connected together with a kissy, we leave it alone. Thank you very much. We absolutely just leave them kissing. Too much information. But I'm going to get rid of that positive 5. How am I going to do that? I'm going to take away 5 from both sides. Now that's not multiplying or dividing, so my inequality at the moment stays exactly the same way. 3 minus 5 is -2. All right, now I want to get the x on its own, and that means I'm going to divide both sides by -2. Hold on a moment, I've just divided by a negative number, which means what's the first thing I've got to do? I have to flip my inequality the other way around. Basically, that's the only thing. You do everything else in exactly the same way now. I have x is equal to -2 divided by -2, so x is less than 1. And again, if we check that, let's say we put -1 in, so let's choose a value of x is equal to -1. We would end up with 5 minus 2 times -1 is greater than 3. Let's just check that. So 5 minus 2 times -1 is +2. That gives me 7 is greater than 3. I am a genius, or a maths guru. What about this one here? Well, again, we just make it slightly more complicated. Yes, again, remember, anything that's connected to the letter that we are trying to find, be it by a times or a divide, you leave it alone till the very end. So in this situation, what am I going to do? I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Does my inequality need to change? No, because I'm not multiplying by or dividing by a negative number. So that leaves me d divided by 4 is greater than or equal to -11 plus 3 is -8. Now, don't get tricked here with a negative sign. It's irrelevant. We're not doing anything about that at the moment. What do I do now? Well, the d is divided by 4, and I want to get rid of this divide by 4. How do we do that? Well, we multiply by 4 on both sides. So d is greater than or equal to 8, 16, 32. Ka-ching. Thank you very much. Now, did I need to swap the inequality sign there? No, because I wasn't multiplying by a negative number. I was merely multiplying by a positive number. Oh, getting harder now. Right, okay, so what are we going to do here? Well, we want to get the letters on the same side. And I always collect the letters where there's the most of them. So in this situation, because there's 6 A's on that side and only 2 A's on that side, I'm going to write the letters and the numbers on the sides with the L and the N. Why do I write L and N? To remind myself so I don't make a silly mistake. So that's on the wrong side, 2A. So I'm going to take away 2A from both sides, which leaves me 7 is less than or equal to 4A plus 3. What's on the wrong side now? The plus 3. So I'm going to take away 3 from both sides to give me 4 is less than or equal to 4A. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to split up the kissing couple, and so I'm going to divide both sides by 4, positive 4, so I don't need to swap my inequality. So I get 4 divided by 4 is less than or equal to A, and so 1 is less than or equal to A. Now, you can write that the other way around, so long as you write it as A is greater than or equal to 1. Okay? Notice what I've done there. I flipped the inequality sign only because if you notice the inequality sign has a large part and the small part? Well, if you notice here, when we have 1 is less than or equal to a, there's the large part by the a, so I have to keep the large part by the a. And notice that I said there 1 is less than or equal to a, which is the same as saying a is greater than or equal to 1. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this lesson. If you are still here, thank you very much. Subscribe to YouTube. Head over to mathsguru.com, where it is free to sign up, and all the videos are by textbooks. There's downloadable notes, so whatever I've just been scribbling now, you can download and add your own stuff, and more to come. All right, thank you very much. If you can also spread the word to your mates, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm done. Have a good day. Darren, Maths Guru, signing out. Until the next time. Bye-bye.